we are going to do some rounding. And the first thing to be comfortable with is place value. So this is a huge number. 521 billion, 698 million, 347,591.54323. You don't need to be concerned with most of this. I don't think at this point in life you'll be asked to do place value for that. You can, take this sheet and use it if it ever happens. What you need to be comfortable with is more down here in this end. So this is 591. We understand that number. This is how we learn numbers. The 1 is in the ones column. The 9, which is basically 90, is in the tens. The 500, is in the hundreds. Then you get to the right side of the decimal point. The first number is tenths. The second number, hundredths. Ooh, there's an extra E in there. I got to get rid of that. And the third, thousandths. You probably won't need to ever go any further than that, but do be very, very comfortable with tenths and hundredths, because you will often be asked to round your answer to either the 10th or the 100th. So let's try some rounding. What is rounding? It's basically giving you an approximate value or an estimation. So say you had 696 marbles. You may have lost one or two along the way, or someone may have put a marble into your collection because they found one. So if you're talking to someone about your collection of marbles and there may have been a little bit of movement, you might say you have about 700 marbles. And you would not be lying. That would be absolutely correct. You have about 700 marbles, give or take a few. So this is basically what we're doing when we're asked to round. On this one, let's do the 100th. And that's going to be the second place after the decimal point. So that's going to be to the 9. When we round to the 100th, that means anything following the 9 will either change the 9 into a bigger number or we'll leave it alone. Either way, we're going to lose those numbers. So this is 1.4934. We're going to round to the 100th, which is where the 9 is. The 1 doesn't move. The 4 doesn't move. Do we have to change the 9? It's got a 3 behind it. 3 does not alter the 9. So our rounding of that number turns into 1.49 because the 3 and the 4 just drop off. Anytime you have 0 to 4, no change to the previous number. 5 to 9, you'll take the previous number up 1. So let's try this one to the 10th. That is the number right after the decimal. Again, it's where the 9 is. This time we've got 6.984. We're going to ignore the 4 completely because we're worried about these two. What does that 8 do to the 9? It pops it up 1, doesn't it? So we end up with 8 makes the 9 a 0, or a 10, right? So what happens to that other 1? It comes right up here. It goes with the 6. So our answer is going to be 7.0 or 7. And that's kind of like this one here, except this didn't have a decimal. We have about 700 marbles. The last time we counted for sure, there were 696, but we may have lost or added 1 or 2. So we have about 700. This, if we had 6.984, we have about 7. especially when we round to the 9. All right, let's try another one. Let's do to the 10th on this one. So 8.264. We don't care about the 4. It's not a player in this one. But the 6 is going to make that 2 go up 1. So we're going to end up with 8.3. And then last one, again, we'll do the 10th. The 9 kicks that 9 up to 0. Really, it kicks it up to 10. So you're going to have to carry that 1. 2 and 1 is 3. And the rest of it is just 0. All right. It's kind of fun. You will be asked on the test more than once. After you calculate a problem and get to the answer, they'll say in the directions, make sure you round to the 100th or the 10th. And the GED test is sneaky. You'll have 4 answers, most likely. And let's say they wanted us to round this number up to the 10th. So it'd be 8.3 would be the correct answer. What we're going to get is we're going to get the original problem or the original answer. Then we're going to get the correct answer. Then we're going to get something really close, but not correct. And then they might just throw something else in completely. Or they'll keep it really close. But they do this, and you need to be precise because they're not giving you a lot of wiggle room. All right. That is rounding in a nutshell.